Our next topic is the CO2 laser, that is carbon dioxide laser. So here what kind of laser it is? Molecular gas laser. So before going to understand the construction working part of the CO2 laser, first we need to understand the modes of vibrations. That is, each CO2 molecule, it undergoes certain kinds of stretching modes of vibrations. Those are nothing but fundamental modes of vibrations. So there are three fundamental modes of vibration for CO2 molecule. They are symmetric stretching mode, bending mode and asymmetric stretching mode. So this is the schematic diagram in which we can have an idea for each CO2 molecule. The oxygen atom will be put up at the center with either side the carbon atoms. So the first diagram depicts the symmetric stretching mode. What is meant by symmetric stretching mode? In the symmetric stretching mode, the oxygen atoms oscillate along the axis of the molecule simultaneously, or whether departing or approaching the carbon atom, which is stationary. The central carbon atom will be stationary or at rest, whereas both carbon atoms will be either departing or coming towards the central oxygen atom. In the bending mode, let us say the molecule ceases to be exactly linear as the atoms move perpendicular to the molecular axis. So in asymmetric stretching mode, all the three atoms oscillate, but while both oxygen atoms move in one direction, the carbon atoms move in the opposite direction. So these are the three different modes of fundamental modes of vibration for each CO2 molecule. The internal vibrations of carbon dioxide molecule can be represented approximately by linear combination of all the three normal modes. The energy level diagram it is given in the next slide so that we can understand, which depicts about vibrational rotational energy levels with which the main physical processes will be occurring in this laser. So before understanding that even the working part of the CO2 laser, we need to understand what type of collisions occur for each CO2 molecule. So there are two types of collisions that will occur: collision of first kind, collision of second kind. What is the meaning of collision of first kind? It is the collision that is occurring between energetic electrons and the atoms of first kind. So what happens is, those electrons which we supply, they will be traveling with high speed, that is they are accelerated. During their path, they will hit the atoms of the first kind, and these atoms absorb energy from these electrons and are excited to the higher energy level, whereas the electrons, after imparting the energy, are come to the ground state or lower energy state. So that I am representing in the equation form as E star plus A gives rise to A star plus E. Similarly, collision of second kind is that in which the high energy electrons of the first kind will interact with the atoms of the second kind and impart their energy, and these atoms after absorbing the energy, they are excited to the higher energy level, and the atoms which impart the energy come to the lower state. Such kind of collision, we are calling it as collision of second kind. Now we are going to understand the construction part of the CO2 laser. So the CO2 laser consists of a quartz tube. This is a quartz tube of 2.5 centimeter diameter and length is 5 meter long with brushless windows. These are the brushless windows as shown in this figure. On both sides of the tube, concave mirrors are kept. These are the mirrors. One side fully silvered, other side is partially silvered. And a mixture of CO2, N2 and helium in the ratio 1:2:3 are taken, gases are taken, along with the traces of water vapor. It is kept inside the quartz tube at optimized pressure. The active centers are here CO2 molecules. During the lasing action, CO2 decomposes into carbon monoxide and oxygen, and to reoxidize, water vapor is required. So that is why we have used these traces of water vapor. So during, let us say, these two is water vapor is required. Two electrodes are kept inside the quartz tube. These are the two electrodes across which power supply is connected. So this is the construction part of the CO2 laser. Now let us learn about the working part. As the electric discharge is passed through the quartz tube, which contains a mixture of carbon dioxide, nitrogen and helium gases. The electrons striking the nitrogen molecules impart sufficient energy to raise them to their first excited vibrational rotational energy level. This is called collision of first kind, which is a direct collision, and we can name this direct collision as N2 plus E star gives rise to N2 star plus E. This energy level, which is the metastable state for the nitrogen, corresponds to one of the vibrational rotational level of CO2 molecules. So, which is designated as level 4. This is the level 4. Collision with N2 molecules. The CO2 molecules are raised to the level 4. And then, which is the collision of second kind, we can represent it, we can also call it as indirect collision, which is represented by the equation CO2 plus N2 star gives rise to CO2 star plus N2. Hence, the population inversion of CO2 molecules is established between level 4 and level 3 and level 4 and level 2. The transition of CO2 molecules from 4 to 3 and 4 to 2 produces lasers of wavelength 10.6 micrometer and 9.6 micrometer respectively. The helium molecules increase the population of level 4 and also help in emptying the lower laser levels by absorbing the heat generated due to these radiation-less transitions. The molecules that arrive at the level 3 and 2 decay to the ground state through radiative and collision induced transitions to the lower level 1. This is the lower level 1, which in turn decays to the ground state by colliding with the walls of the quartz tube. So a CO2 laser can produce continuous laser beam with a power output of several kilowatts, while at the same time can maintain high degree of spectral purity and spatial coherence. So these are the lasers which are based on the gas mixture in which light is amplified by CO2 lasers, carbon dioxide molecules. CO2 lasers belong to the class of molecular glass lasers, as we have discussed in the beginning, and this is designed by the C.K. and Patel in the year 1964. So the power output of the CO2 laser increases linearly with the length. Low power up to 50 watts continuous CO2 lasers are available in sealed tube configurations. So let us just now, we have given you the list of all the characteristics as well as advantages, disadvantages and applications of the CO2 lasers. So from this entire discussion we can make out first point is it is a continuous molecular gas laser. Active medium is CO2, N2 and helium gases along with some traces of water vapor which is used as an active medium. Pumping method is electrical discharge, and optical resonator is two concave mirrors along with a narrow and long quartz tube. Power output is from this laser is about 10 kilowatt. Nature of output is a continuous, or we can also obtain as pulsed laser beam. Wavelength of output is 9.6 and 10.6 micrometer, and spectral purity will be very high degree with the spatial coherence. And the advantages we have given out, it is very simple construction, and it is continuous, high efficiency and very high output power, and it can be increased by extending the length of the gas tube. And even though advantages are there, minute disadvantages also are there. It can contaminate of this oxygen, and carbon monoxide will have some effect on laser action. The operating temperature plays an important role in determining the output power of the laser, and corrosion may also occur due to the reflecting plates. And these are some of the disadvantages besides the advantages. So what are the major applications is they find applications in material processing, welding, drilling, cutting, soldering. All these will be done in the industries, mechanical industry. And this low atmospheric attenuation will be there. CO2 is used for the open air communication, remote sensing and treatment of liver and lung. Most commonly used, it is used neurosurgery and general surgery. It is used to perform microsurgery and bloodless operations. So this is about the information about the CO2 laser. So next we will learn about